We're going to be talking about what's going on with these digital assets today for a little bit. About probably like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It's a nice morning right now, but we're going to be in our third day of heat waves. So right now, walking the property of where I work at real quick, take care of some stuff. But I want to hop on here to talk about what's going on with XRP, what's going on with Ethereum, Bitcoin, Solana. All of them right now, digital assets, they're seeing the inflows right now, inflow of money. And it's not just from retail money. Want to see what's going on? It's not just from retail money, it's from also the institutional investors is also on it. So I'm out here walking real quick, early morning. It's about to get hot. It's about to get hot, but right now it's just kind of warm. Somebody end up fixing this for me, huh? It's kind of warm, but we're gearing up because it's going to be another heat wave. It's going to be another hot day, another scorcher. So we're dealing with life, taking things how we can take it in, and do what we got to do. But waiting for the algorithm to kick in because I'm going to be hopping on here, be diving into the computer real quick to see what's going on with XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin. It's having a dip, so right now probably be a good time to get involved with it. It's that XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, digital assets. We're going to check out the inflows. Look at the fear and greed index right now. It's not too much. It's not too much. It's a little bit of fear. A little bit of fear. But it's starting to build up to more greed. And that's because of what's going on with XRP. That's what's going on with Ethereum. And if you stick on here, I'm going to get more into it because we got some news. Other than that, what is it? The Genius Act. Other than the Genius Act getting signed into, well, not signed in, but almost getting signed into law, we're going to also look at these big institutions getting involved with the likes of Ethereum, putting money, big money into Ethereum, Bitcoin, and of course XRP. You see how what XRP is doing right now. Ooh, see that one? That's a tough one right there. I think it was a Mustang. Um, Luciv, we don't, which is where. Wow. Okay. Sure. All right. Whatever you say. So we're gonna get into that. Get into XRP. Get into Bitcoin and how these big institutions are getting involved with it, especially with Ethereum. A lot of money just went into Ethereum, and the market is going to be going crazy. Even though the market is dipping, even though right now for this week we got the market going down, it's going to go crazy. Um, the news that I got right now is because the market is dipping. If you have any, not financial advice or anything, but if you have any extra money, any cash put aside, now would be a good time to get involved with crypto because big institutions get involved, so the numbers are going to go up. So I'm going to go get in the computer. Blade 2025, what's going on? Big shout outs to you. Thanks for being on here. So I'm going to get in the office. I'm going to go about XRP. Oh, man. People at work will be having me cracking up sometimes. All right, so what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Let me see what we can get into. All right, see some stuff I got for y'all real quick. Just came across it. Boom, boom, boom. So we're gonna talk about the market right now, how the market is staying. Um, at the time of this video, of this live, XRP is actually down 1.88%, 1.90% for the day, 11% for the week. So it's good if you got some dry powder put to the side to get involved with some XRP. Bitcoin is also down 0.70% for the week. Ethereum is up 2.26% for the week, but it's down 1.91% for the day. So we still kind of got some leverage right there. They're saying right now the projected for the next week or so for Ethereum is to go up to 4,000, and then they're saying that we might see a dip for the month of September. So right now, the Fear and Greed Index is about 63 in terms of greed right now. So 63 in terms of greed. So that's kind of halfway in between. The extreme greed high was 88%. Extreme fear was 15 back in March 2025. So not too long ago, we had the extreme fear at 15%. So those were the time when crypto was taking a dip, and it would be a good time at that time to get involved. But that's not the case right now. The case right now is that it's dipping again. So we're gonna have to find out if now is a good time to get in or not. I think it is. Not financial advice, but if you got some money put to the side, I think it would be a good time to get involved with some crypto. Altcoin index is about 36%, so altcoins is not taking off yet. And what else we got? XRP is at about $3. Bitcoin is at 117,800, and Ethereum is at 3,785. Solana is at $176.94, down 10% for the week, down down 3.49% for the day. So, like you see, Bitcoin is down right now. Ethereum is up a little bit, but all the other major cap cryptocurrencies are basically down. So why is the market down today? Let's find out. Crypto market fell 1.12% in the past 24 hours, extending its 7-day decline to 2.65%. So it's been declining for the last 7 days. So like I said, if you got some money, not financial advice, it'd be a good time to get involved with XRP, with Ethereum, crypto, Bitcoin, Solana. While monthly gains remain strong, 15.86% today, drops align with profit taken after recent rallies and leverage position unwinding. So going towards the end of last week, towards the end the weekend, we see an extreme rally with Bitcoin. We see an extreme rally with all the other altcoins, Ethereum, Dogecoin, all of them was having a rally. So right now we're seeing a decrease because a lot of the people are taking basically profits from those leverage position that was up. So profit taken after recent rallies and leverage position is unwinding. Leverage unwinding 30 million BTC liquidation. Wow, 31% over the last 10 days. And then Bitcoin dominance rose 60.78% over the last 30 days. And the technical resistance market cap rejected a 3.88 trillion dollars SMA. I got to deal more into that right there. So deep dive derivative shakeout overview. So what we're basically saying is that 739 billion, and I'm gonna go get into what is it? I'm gonna get into I seen that article of how these volumes are going to change and the recent inflows of money into digital assets, especially from institutional investors such as like BlackRock. So you know how BlackRock is. We're going to talk about Grayscale, also. Who else? Fidelity. Fidelity actually, it seems like Fidelity moved some of their money from Bitcoins into more Ethereum as well as other altcoins. They also seem like they moved some of their money into some of the ETF funds for Bitcoins, ProShares ETFs for Ethereum as well. So we're gonna get some more into that. But before, let's talk about why are we seeing a dip within crypto right now, and what's the reason? So the overview, 739 billion, and this is coming from CoinMarketCap.com. If you involved with crypto or anything like that and want to know the new days, new data, new ticker symbols, new meme coins, altcoins that's coming out, hit up coinmarket.com. Also, I do CoinGraph and some other ones that gives you some great details, all right? All right, so positivity breeds success. Shout outs to Blade 2025. Big shout out to you, man. Appreciate you that. Appreciate you doing that. All right, so let's get back into the overview. Like I said, 739 billion open interest in the last 24 hours, 4.3%, and negative funding rates 14.5% for the day. So we had inflows of basically, so you had some bullish at 4.3 and you had some bearish at 14.5% over the last couple of days. So the bearish signals took more leverage on the last couple of weeks of trading. So Bitcoin saw 30 million liquidation with longs compromised by 82% of damages. Wow. So wow, I didn't. Yeah, people was trading like crazy this past week. Traders extended during last week's rally of 3.98% market cap. No, 3.98 trillion, my bad. $3.98 trillion market cap of inflows for cryptocurrency last week. No, a rally of 3.98 trillion. That's not it. That's just a rally. Wow. Creating squeeze conditions when prices stalled at the key Fibonacci resistance 23.6 retracement. 23.6% retracement to $3.8 trillion. Fibonacci. See, when I do my research and things like that, like I heard of Fibonacci, I kind of have an idea of it, but when I really don't really understand, I gotta take my notes and I do some research to understand the more technicalities behind it. So Fibonacci retracement. So we got the Fibonacci. So we gotta understand what a Fibonacci is, and then you gotta understand the resistance of it and why it retraces, right? When you start understanding those things, then we can get more into trading, right? So what else is going on? Equity correlation drag mixed impact. So mixed impact with equity correlation overview. Crypto showed 0.9 correlation. Let me see. Crypto showed 0.9% correlation with SPY QQ over 24 hours, tracking NASDAQ 0.6% dip amid Fed policy uncertainty. Oh, what is the Fed policy meeting? Is that today or tomorrow? Oh, we're gonna have a lot of things going on in these markets today, huh? Um, wow, I gotta check out the Fed policy meeting. I think it's either today or tomorrow. Um, so trader price delayed rates cuts stronger than expected U.S. job data. This U.S. job data, man, they make it seem like the U.S. job market is on point, but you got so much layoffs and job cuts and furloughs going on. Then expected U.S. job data creating cross assets create pressure. However, crypto's 30-day correlation remains lower than 0.79, perceiving it in macro hedge potential. Altcoins profit taking, bearish impact. There go another bearish impact. That's why it's going down. The altcoin season, we talking about XRP, we talking about Bitcoin. Um, Bitcoin, Ethereum was like the top dogs, but for all season, we talking about XRP, we talking about Dogecoin, we talking about Solana, a big dog too. We talking about ADA, all of those different ones that's not like the top dog like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. It's a lot of crypto gems out there though. We're gonna dive deep, especially since it's like bull market. So now's the time before um before Bitcoin and Ethereum really take off to get involved with researching some altcoins, because after Bitcoin and Ethereum take off, then we have altcoin season, which it could be massive, ladies and gentlemen. So altcoin profits, what it means, recent exchange listings triggered sell the news behavior with 397 million tree volume showing hyper speculative churn. Some of this stuff is confusing, right? But we got to make it through. We got to make it through. We got to figure out what it means. So in conclusion, the dip reflects healthy consolidation. You hear that? The dip reflects healthy consolidation after July's 15th. July had a 15% rally, amplified by overheated derivatives and equity market jitter. Overheated derivatives and equity market. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm about to get into this story soon about how these new inflows, large inflows of money from not just retail investors, but from institutional investors, are putting money into XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Litecoin, Cardano, and Chainlink. Not to mention, some of these institutions are also shorting Bitcoin to have Bitcoin price consolidate even lower so then they can grab it up at a lower price because in, what is it, I think after the end of April, XRP skyrocketing, Bitcoin skyrocketing, Ethereum skyrocketing, Solana skyrocketing. After they skyrocket and they hit that float, not even when they hit a certain mark, but once they going up there, you see them up by 30-40%. Then you start to see all these altcoins take off. This bull market is going to be something different. Something that, look, 4.6% from one company into shorting Bitcoin. That's 4.6 million. Then another company did 24.3 million. Like, come on, and shorting Bitcoin at that much. So when you short it and it drops, because you can see that right now it's dropping. It's Bitcoin, where we at? All right, so let me finish up real quick. But right now, Bitcoin is dropping from what it was earlier within this week. It's down like almost 3%. So the dip, we're talking about the dip. We're talking about the Fibonacci retracement. We're talking about the derivatives and equity market is jitter. Because of this jitter, that's why I'm making the market go down. And watch out. Oh, it's tonight FOMC meeting. Okay, so tonight will be the FOMC meeting. Tilted, a dovish tilt could begin risk appetite, while hawkish signals might test the $3.7 trillion Fibonacci support. Does the market have enough dry powder to defend the 50-day estimated moving average at $3.68 trillion? See, that's the whole market as a whole, the whole crypto market. They saying if it's dovish, it could be risky, but if it's hawkish, signals might test the $3.7 trillion Fibonacci support. Support and resistance might test it. So these are some other things that we're going to discuss. We're going to find out what's Fibonacci, what's the resistance retracement. Then we're going to get into derivatives and equity market, and then we're going to find out more about the Fibonacci, whether it's dovish or if it's going to be hawkish. All right, now let's get into some more story about XRP. XRP, Ripple, Ethereum, money going into digital assets, inflows at a record high for the month of July. Digital assets inflows for assets such as XRP, Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum, Litecoin, XRP again, because I'm just looking at these charts and just seeing like how much millions of dollars are going into these digital assets. And it's not just from institutional investors as well. We got the country. So let me get into this article about digital assets, XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, all of those, whether it's dovish or hawkish news, it's going to be some movements made because the weekly crypto asset flows has went up. The digital asset flows of XRP, Ethereum, Cardano, we got Solana, Bitcoin, of course, the Ripple XRP thing because of what's going on with that, right? So digital assets such as digital assets inflow surged in record monthly high amid Ethereum led rally. So Ethereum led the rally because a lot of money was put into Ethereum from these large companies, and we're gonna get into it because digital assets investments products saw US $1.9 billion inflow last week, bringing month-to-date inflows to a record US $11.2 billion. Ethereum attracted $1.5 billion in inflows, its second largest week ever, with year-to-date flows surpassing 2024 totals. While Solana and XRP, here we go. Solana and XRP now, and XRP and Solana saw strong inflows. Bitcoins recorded minor outflows, US 1.7 million. So even though people were taking profit, it still was a minor outflow. Highlights potential ETF anticipation rather than a broad altcoin season. So we might see an ETF for XRP. I don't know. We might see ETF for Solana. Not sure yet. But look in these numbers. iShares ETF 1,561, basically almost $1 billion inflows into that. $78 million from Grayscale into digital assets. Fidelity $476 million into digital assets the past month. CoinShares XBT, not even sure which company that is. But we saw a lot of flows, a lot of inflows from institutional investors. Bitcoin got millions of dollars. Ethereum, $1.5 billion went in. Solana, 3 million. XRP, 190 million. Litecoin, about 1.2 billion. Oh my goodness. Chainlink, 500,000. Cardano, 1.3 million. So other than that, those money going into those digital assets, we also have countries moving their money into digital assets. Australia, 11.4 million. Brazil took profit. Canada took profit. Hong Kong took profit. Germany, 70 billion. Sweden took profit. Switzerland, 75 billion. United States, 2 billion. Other countries, 11 billion. Digital assets involvement investment product saw 1.9 billion in inflows last week, marking the 15th consecutive week of positive sentiments. This pushed the month-to-date inflows of record US $11.2 billion, signifying surpassing the US $7.6 billion seen in December 24. So in December 2024, $7.6 billion was the high. This one, $11.2 billion was put into U.S. assets. And that $7.6 billion in December 2024, it followed the U.S. election because they had, good news that the president coming in most likely will favor for digital assets and cryptocurrencies and the like of it. Digital asset is the main thing that is called. Like, don't worry about cryptocurrency or whatever meme coin that you heard about, all this stuff. Alzra, what's going on? Alzra 4260. Hey, how you doing? Thanks for being on here. Thanks for hitting that like button, that subscribe. But other than that, the cryptocurrency, the meme coins, we have all different things like that. Don't worry about that. The main thing is digital assets, because digital assets is like the whole picture of it all, right? So boom, 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 boom. Regional flows were mixed. The United States and Germany saw strong inflows of over $2 billion. The U.S. $70 million, respectively, offsetting outflows from Brazil, $23 million, Canada, $84 million, and Hong Kong, $160 million. So basically, those countries took profit. And we're going to see the market going to drop, and then they're going to buy more in, and it goes back up. Ethereum stood out unusual, leading with US $1.5 billion in inflows last week. its second strongest week on record. Year-to-date inflows with Ethereum have now reached US $7.79 billion, surpassing the total of all last year. And Ethereum has a blockchain that's very strong, that a lot of other altcoins, a lot of other um, digital assets, online banking is using products that's based on the Ethereum blockchain. Bitcoin, by contrast, experienced minor outflows totaling US $175 million, notably divergence from broader altcoin trends. Because basically, what happens is when people start to see a lot of money goes into Bitcoin, people start to take profits off of Bitcoin and they put it into the altcoin. So that's what they talk about the altcoin trends, because then the altcoin trends start to take off. Boom. This is a raising the questions of whether we are entering an altcoin season. Remember early in the video, I was talking about altcoin season. I don't think yet. Almost there. We're almost there. So now's the time to research your altcoins, get an idea of what's the best altcoins to get involved with. Annabis Gray, is that where all the country's money is going to reset the world's economy? It could be into digital assets. Not exactly sure which digital assets, but um basically to reset the world's economy. Check out what the Bank of International Settlements is doing. Check out what BlackRock is doing. But basically, I think what your comment was just saying has a lot of truth there. Annabis Gray. I hope I'm saying your name right, Annabis Gray. So boom. However, beyond these names, inflows tapered off quickly. Several altcoins saw outflows, including Litecoin, $1.2 million US, and Bitcoin Cash. What's Bitcoin Cash? Okay, $0.66 million. So $660 million of Bitcoin Cash was taken in profit. These altcoins inflows may be driven less by. Oh, yeah, my bad, my bad. I did that. So these was altcoin inflows. So people putting money into Litecoin and people putting money into Bitcoin Cash because they know these altcoins gonna take off pretty soon. So these altcoins inflows may be driven less by broad-based enthusiasm and more anticipation surrounding the potential US ETF launches. Nice. Wow, wow. So that's a lot that's going on with those inflows of cryptocurrencies, inflows of digital assets by institutional investors, by these countries. Um, we're seeing a large amount of money going into, especially from the stuff like BlackRock. Yep, investors plow $2 billion into Ethereum ETFs as companies scoop up billions. So let's see, what's some of these ETFs that we can get involved with? Do a quick scan. Uh, I'm gonna do some research and find out some of these ETFs that we can probably get involved with. Um, I know CoinShare has one. More than putting in the market spot Ether exchange trade funds made up the vast majority of spot crypto fund investments last week. And also, you can get involved with spot investing. Basically, you see the price at a low point, you get in, you see it go up, you cash it out. Because Ethereum's about to take flight. Ethereum's about to take flight. Let me see what CoinShare say. Yep, yep. Likes of it all, ladies and gentlemen. Ethereum's gonna take off in the next month or so. It's down right now about 1.5%, but Ethereum's continues to move from strength to strength and institutional investors. And even though it's moving, it's still consolidating because people are still taking profit. Because you got people that brought Ethereum when it was like, I don't even want to get into that. What, $700, $1,000, 15, 1,200. At one point in, I think this past March, it dropped down to about 1,250. So, so once again, I gave Annabis Gray, thanks for the sub. Is there where country's money? I'm sorry. Yeah, so stick with me, y'all. I want to get more into this article real quick about Ethereum popping off. Uh, at 37, 10:37. Yeah, 10:37. When they get out at 11, right? Their school get out at 11. Yeah, so 10:37. Yeah, because when we did, with me originally I said 10:27, but right, right, right. If it changes 37, if it happens where we got to clock you in, we just clock you in. All right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah, I should have put it in that small van without no heat, no AC. I'm gonna call it back for you. The van without no AC, with the bad kid inside waiting for you. The new financial system, right? I gotta stay. 10:30. Thank you. You know you like that because you get to leave before the heat hit. They're doing 37. You doing 10:30. 10:30. They clocking at 10:37. Yep. Jeez. All right. We're back. Shout outs to Annabis Gray. I gave us a big shout out to you. Thanks for the sub. Um, like you're talking about blockchain, not just we got to look at the whole blockchain thing. It's not just crypto because it's a whole nother level of changing up the economy. We got the what you call it, blockchain technology. Then we got the circular economy, circular, or is it circle, circle economy. I believe they have circle. I think they even have a token for that. We're gonna talk Annabis too. We're gonna talk about tokenization as well too. Thoughts on XRP? XRP is gonna be doing some good moves. If you got a bag of XRP, you keep holding on to that, right? Keep holding on to your XRP. Um, I mean, you could trade your XRP, but for me right now, I think I traded a little bit when it first went up. It's like two something, no, three something, and then it dipped back down to two something. I grabbed up some more, but you can spot trade it right there with that kind of angle. But XRP, I think XRP is going to be doing some things. some big things. But other than XRP, we also got to look at the parenting company, which is Ripple, and also check out the circular economy tokenizing. Right now I'm looking at Circle tokenized stock, which is at $181. It has a market cap of $3.8 million. So um, then we also got, see, it's so much different. It's so much different, like tokens and altcoins and meme coins and a wide variety of things. Um, then we got AI, like, yo, we going into like this future. The future of money is gonna be something like we have to get involved. All that fiat and all that stuff is out the window. If understanding Ethereum, some banks will be using right the EVM side chain. It runs on. Oh, Annabis, great. Thanks for that. So you telling me that one side is gonna be using the XRP or what um blockchain, and then it's going to be using Ethereum for the interface. Wow, that's deep right there. So I gotta put that in there. So Ethereum and XRP and banking. Thanks for that one. You almost left without it. Oh, right, right, right. It's a lot of things that's going into these financial markets right now. And it was great. You got a channel? Shout outs to you. And it was great. You do know your shiznit. Let me know if you got a channel because I'm going to subscribe. And it was great. Shout outs to you. You do know your shit. I'm about to do some research just based off of what you just told me right there. Because if that's the case, we definitely got to get more involved with the XRP ledger and the Ethereum ledger, blockchain ledger, and see what's going on. Because that's gonna be some big moves right there. Um, Ricky versus the world said Bitcoin and Bitcoin only. I feel you. You a what they call a Bitcoin maximus. I mean, I love Bitcoin too because that's where I started off. I basically got cold wallets of Bitcoin like put up and stored, not Bitcoin, like not Bitcoin, Satoshis. I have a cold wallet has Satoshis. So Satoshis are portions of Bitcoin. I don't want to tell people I got Bitcoin stored up on my cold wallet. They're gonna be like, "Oh, this dude rich." Talking about you got Bitcoin, you got like 4 Bitcoin stored up. How much money that is? So they're gonna be saying like, "Yo, you got Bitcoins put up on a cold wallet where you stay at?" Nah, I got Satoshis. I ain't got no Bitcoin. But they're saying if you have what is it, point one of a Bitcoin, which is what point one is a what? Is it point one or point zero one? Point zero one. It says if you have point zero one of Satoshis or point zero one of Bitcoin, that in the next bull run, that can help you to become very, very well off. Yep, still at 130. So what he was saying? What I was saying? Oh, I lost my train of thought. Oh, point zero one of Bitcoin. If you have point zero one of Bitcoin, if you have point zero one of Bitcoin, then you should be good. Um, Not that you should be good, but you should be able to see some kind of gains with even with this bull run, especially if how you do it the right way. Maybe you want to spot trade it, maybe you want to take a percentage of it and leverage trade it, whichever way. But all right, so Rick versus the world. Bitcoin is the only blockchain everyone can see every transaction. Go try it. Go try to look at XRP blockchain and you will see a group transact. You're right. You're absolutely right. Mostly all the other cryptocurrencies or digital assets are basically controlled by another entity or entities or a group of entities out there. Except for Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is just the only one that's like public, like only the miners and Ah, like we got to get into it to really have a discussion on that. But all the other cryptocurrencies basically could say, okay, there's an entity or there's a group of people who are really making, if like even Ethereum, Cardano, XRP, you got Ripple is the backing company of that. So all these different blockchains and cryptocurrencies definitely have, like he says, some kind of figure or entity behind it. Um, Blockchain, and you'll see a group of transactions missing. True, like yeah, XRP blockchain. Yeah. The thing though with a lot of these blockchains is it's like you said, you could see the transactions, but you can't see the whole transaction. Like how you can track back your transactions like on the blockchain with Bitcoin. Ricky, Annabis Gray. Ricky, poor Ricky, you don't understand blockchain. Ricky versus world. Annabis, good luck, Ivy. I mean, y'all both have a point. Some people are just Bitcoin maximalists, and then other people can see, okay, well, there's other things that stems off of the blockchain, off of Bitcoin, because like even Bitcoin itself is not the only blockchain or the only cryptography type technology that's out there, right? So it was something there before Bitcoin, right? It was blockchain. Blockchain has been in existence. They said what from like the 90s, I think. So Annabis Gray says every blockchain is traceable. Um, I'm with you on that too, Annabis, but I see what Ricky is saying because like every blockchain is traceable, but like he said, if the entity has in control and they're the ones that's the movers and shakers and not the miners, because with Bitcoin you have the miners are the movers and shakers, but with other digital assets you have those institutions or you have those entities that are the movers and shakers within, and then you have the retail investors and traders and stuff. It's missing transfers because it's on private ledger. Oh, oh, Annabis Gray, you know your stuff. It's missing transfers. Yeah, that makes sense. Ricky versus the world said, if you couldn't trust the government with money, how would you trust someone in control of a crypto? Hmm. Annabis Gray says, um, you're not meant to see them. The government prints money as soon as they demand for these cryptos goes up. Yeah, so I think also what you saying right there too, Ricky. I think that's why they got all these different cryptos and these different digital assets. It's because when Bitcoin came out, it's because we're going up against the government. You don't want the government to have all control of your money. If I want to transfer money from can do too. Yeah, thank you. Um, this is a good discussion, though. This is a very good discussion. Uh, the government prints money as soon as the demand for these crypto goes up, so you have the supply, and that's kind of interesting because some people were saying like with the Ripple XRP thing, how everybody's gearing more towards XRP as um the big thing, the place to put your money. But XRP is just the token. the coin of Ripple. So you're not really putting money in the institution itself that's controlling XRP. You're putting money in the XRP. So if inflation and tariffs and all that affects the price of XRP, and then that's like that it gets inflated, or it's not valuable the way that we thought it was. Like, okay, for example, right now it's at $3. Say it goes up to $10 per XRP, but everything is inflated. We're in we're paying $5 for one egg. Everything's inflated. That XRP at $10 is really not the XRP at $10 at today of what we know it, because it's not really going to be $10. It's going to be probably really only be worth like 50 cents. But Ripple Company itself, who's controlling XRP as a token, the Ripple Company itself has its investments in more prolonged assets, digital assets that cannot be inflated, such as tokenizing land or tokenizing a certain type of investment, a certain type of ETF or something like that. Yeah, I'm not the best financial. I'm just learning this stuff because I done fell on my face hundreds of times, been in the ditches hundreds of times, digging in my pocket and only got 5 cents in my pocket, to the point where I got to the point one time. I don't even want to talk about it. I talk about it on another live. Uh, what y'all think about Beast Games, Mr. Beast Games, man? I do this thing where every day I enter to win. I think for the month of September, it's $500,000. So every day I enter to win through this thing. XRP is a data transfer system token. Ah. And bitch, you know your stuff. You sure do know your stuff. Yeah. Well, hey, Annabis Gray, what you know about the ETFs, the Bitcoins and the Ethereum ETFs? Do you have any idea of those and how it's gonna go forward with the blockchain? I'm not gonna be on here too much longer. Gotta catch up on some work, but I might come back on here. I like this discussion was on here having. Yeah, you're right. It's not a crypto like Bitcoin. That's why you gotta look at digital assets as a whole, because it's not just all crypto. You got the cryptography, you got the blockchain, you got the contracts, you got the what else? What else? Got a few things. But yeah, what else we got on? It's not like okay. All right, so let me go. Ethereum continues to move from strength to strength, and institutional investors are taking notice. Money pouring into the market. Spot Ethereum exchange traded fund up the vast majority of spot crypto fund investment last week, according to new research on CoinShare. We're gonna do some research in all these different Ethereum exchange traded funds and see which one is having the best gains right now. Yo, it's like it's so much things to learn about, like this money market and economy and stuff. It's like once you up on something, then something else change. Shout out to SoFi. If you went to regular stock market, SoFi had record breaking numbers, but I think they might dip today. I might have to do a option call. Of the $1.9 billion in investors' money scooping up these funds, Ethereum Ether accounted for more than 84% of that figure. You know, I'm about to cry because I had a good amount of Ethereum, and I had got rid of some at a point. I had got rid of some at a point, but it's crazy because when you dollar cost average and you learn these stuff and you know how to dollar cost average, and when you see the dip, you dollar cost average, then it's different. Um, um, the investment also outpaced what of Bitcoin over the same period. Various Bitcoin ETF experienced net de-investment. Wow, that's the first word. Net, net divestment to the tune of $175 million. So basically, what they're telling me is that through those ETFs, I guess people took $175 million out in profit. All right, let me go back to these comments. Um, XRP is a data transfer. It's not. Animus Gray says it's not crypto like Bitcoin. Animus Gray said, I I did hear that the U.S. made a law where you can pull the Bitcoin. I did hear that U.S. made a law where you can pull the Bitcoin and Ethereum out of the Ethereum, not just cash now. What, out of the ETF? Because you get out, you can pull the Bitcoin and Ethereum out of the ETH, not just. I think you mean out of the ETF. That's wow. That's interesting. They did that. I like. How would you track? I don't know, technology nowadays. I guess you'd be able to track it based off of smart contracts. Everyone gets burnt and humbled messing with crypto. One day could be me. It's another reality. I mean, I got burnt with crypto, but on one hand, but at the same time, I was learning and getting involved with it on different aspects of it. So even though I got burnt, like say you got a hand, you got 10 fingers on your hand, I was putting it in different baskets. This one probably got burnt. This pinky probably got burnt, but this pointer finger right here, triple what this pinky got burnt off. You understand what I'm saying? So that's how I looked at crypto. Like, and you got your decentralized um platforms, the centralized platforms. So it's it's based off of your preference. But I mean, if you're into crypto, I definitely say you definitely should have some Bitcoin, some Ethereum, some Bitcoin, some Ethereum. I say Cardano, and it depends, Solana. Um, Everyone gets burnt and humbled messing with crypto. One day could be me. It's another reality. Yeah, I got burnt, and it's crazy because I got burnt a couple times. But for me, I was able to benefit more off of crypto than being burnt. Same thing with like investment. Sometimes you lose with investment. You lose with trading. Life itself, you win and you learn, right? Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. You like how I say you win and you learn, like instead of you win or you lose, because it's either you win or you're gonna learn something from it. Yeah, okay, I got you. I gotta look into that because that'd be very interesting. That's a lot of tracking, and I don't want them to do that because that means I might have to what they call that paying taxes on tax gains, tax gains. Wow. Yo, I'm not no financial advisor or nothing like that, y'all. I'm just learning these stuff. So if you hear me say something that's messed up, correct me. Something about taxable gains, something like that. I got three bet. Boom, 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 boom. All right. Did you know if? All right. So Anubis Grace said, did you know if Michael Saylor just got XRP instead of Bitcoin, he would have $31 billion more dollars if you price stay the same. I hear you on that one, Anubis, but Michael Saylor is a Bitcoin maximus, so he definitely ain't getting no XRP. Yeah. If XRP hits $20 by the end of the year, I'll I'll release the files. What? If XRP hits 20 by the end of the year, I'll release the files. What files? Uh-oh. I I be killing 3 M's. I think that's I be killing 3 M's. Um Animus Gray says, yes, okay, got you. Out of the ETF, got you. That's gonna be interesting. I got three baskets. Algo, Excellent, and XRP. I hear you. I hear you. My profile is a little bit thicker than that. Maybe I'm just be trying to dib and dab into many different things. So my profile is different than yours. Um, uh, Bitcoin went. Rick versus the world said Bitcoin went up 100,000% in the last 4 years, and that's the safest play you could make. Did you did you outperform that? Makes sense. Makes sense. The U.S. government told you that five cryptos are going to be big. What are those five cryptos? Was it was the ISO 2020, ISO 22020? Oh gosh, I can never say this right. ISO 20, ISO 222. I think I said it right. 2002. I don't know. The U.S. government told her, boom, boom. Message automatically held for review. So I don't know what's that. Uh, okay. Rick versus the world says Micah Saylor have made more money in the XRP. White thing. Okay. Bitcoin. Okay. Animus, we got Bitcoin, Ethereum. There we go. And those are the main big ones that's going to be having ETFs off of them. We're going to have Bitcoin, and we got to look into that Genius Act too. We're going to look into that Genius Act, and I'm going to come and do another live one about that too, because it has a lot to do with XRP, ADA. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and those are the big dogs right there. Those are the ones that a lot of the banking systems are using also. Um, Let me see. Boom, 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 boom. So what's driving the vibe shift? Though Ethereum has long been a laggard during much of this year's eye-watering rally, analysts have pointed to the three key drivers behind growing interest in the $459 billion cryptocurrency. Ethereum takes flight. First, the rise of public companies adding millions of Ethereum into their balance sheets. That's one reason. Another reason, firms such as Bitmine, GameSquare, and SharpLink have collectively purchased more than 937,753 Ethereum, worth more than $3.5 billion. Firms such as Bitmine, GameSquare, SharpLink. So, what's your thoughts on Ethereum? Um, Jimmy said, "Doesn't matter what alts you hold, just be prepared to sell." Bless up for real. Jimmy, you can say that again. If you're into crypto and you're into this market, don't let the market just get you. Don't let the market get your bags. Don't wait till the last minute. You see it start skyrocketing, even though you might not make what you thought you could have or what you expected you could have, start shaving off. Start shaving off. Because when them bull runs hit, you gonna be mad if you don't take your profit. Trust me. You gonna be mad. Cause what hold on, what let me see. Ricky versus the world. Jimmy, yes sir. I'm gonna repeat what Jimmy said. This is not financial advice. This is not We're not your fiduciaries. Nobody on here is your accountant, your trustee, none of that. But I'm gonna repeat what Jimmy said. Doesn't matter what alts you hold, just prepare to sell. Bless up. And then Rick versus the world. Jimmy, yes sir. Jimmy at Rick. Not here to spread. no misinformation. I want to see people win the bull run. I'm gonna repeat what Jimmy said at Ricky. Shout out to Ricky versus the world. Not here to spread no misinformation. I want to see people win this bull run. We gonna win this bull run. We gonna win this bull run. Right now, gather up as much as possible. If you want to be a Bitcoin maximus like how Ricky versus the world, go ahead, grab your Bitcoin. If you want to be more involved with the other cryptos and the other meme coin assets, go ahead, grab them up. But don't let the bull run piss on your parade. Excuse my language. Because you're going to be up. You're going to be like, yeah, 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 yeah. And when that dip hit, you're going to be like, nah, it's going to go back up more. I say the bull run, for me, my opinion, I think the bull run is going to last for, where we at? I say another 3 to 4 months. So like Jimmy said, if you got all them altcoins, be ready to sell like another 3 to 4 months. Because after September, October, you're gonna start seeing a skyrocket. By the end of October, I say if you're not shaving off your profits, it's not a good looks. It's not a good looks. Ricky versus the world, these altcoins can outperform, but they will dump. And that's all what it comes out to. They will outperform, but they will dump. And I learned that from Shiba Inu. I learned that from It was a couple ones like Doge the last bull market I could have made. Even though I was shaving off profits off of my Doge, I could have made some serious money if I would have sold it before the dip. I was holding on too long. Don't hold on to them altcoins too long. Don't hold on to them altcoins. And like um like Ricky said, get them Bitcoin. Hold on. See, with Bitcoin, you're gonna grab them and hold them, unless you want to spot trade it and spot trade it, buy at the low, sell it at the high, buy again at the dip, unless you want to spot trade it. But like Ricky said, grab them Ethereum, get your cold wallet, get your hot wallet, whatever. Not Ethereum. Well, for me, it's both Bitcoin and Ethereum. I try to stack as much Bitcoin and Ethereum. The other altcoins, I just grab them up and basically trade them. But the Bitcoin and Ethereum, especially the Bitcoin, have a cold wallet for it and stash as much up as possible. Huddle is the game, right? Huddle is the game. Huddle. With Bitcoin, if you have Bitcoin, you have some Satoshis, huddle is the game. Huddle. Buy and huddle. Huddle for the long term. Because imagine the next bull run. But if you got the altcoins, like Jimmy said, man, sell them altcoins off before they dip. Because you're just going to get ugly once you're going to be like, oh, up it is. Especially like XRP. You was buying XRP at 60 cents, and now you're seeing it at $3 and change. And if you don't get them gains and you see that dump, it's gonna be whoo. Mm-mm-mm. Ethereum co-founder Joe Lubin, who led the online gaming company SharpLink through its crypto pivot, said the firm will do many of the same financial maneuvers as Michael Saylor's strategy. But because Ethereum is so much different from Bitcoin, so Lubin says he's gonna basically do the same thing that Michael Saylor is doing with Bitcoin. He's gonna do the same thing with Ethereum. From Bitcoin, Lubin told DL News that they can also do so much more. Second, analysts are touting the passage of landmark stablecoin legislation in the U.S. as the key driver behind the uptick in Ethereum. Yeah, I forgot that act that came out. Yeah, Ricky said it. These altcoins can outperform, but they were dumb. So, banks, payment players, and fintech who would continue buying operational Ethereum to pay transaction fees for deploying stable coins and tokenizing assets on the blockchain. There we go. Bernstein analyst said in July. Tokenization of assets. Finally, Ethereum small. I might have to go get me some more Ethereum then, because I didn't know Ethereum was going to have such a big impact with tokenization like that. Finally, Ether's small size compared to Bitcoin means that it's far more sensitive to outside investment, wrote analysts at QCP Capital, a Singapore-based trading firm. Bears takes aim but it doesn't mean the bears are waiting in the wings. As Ethereum approaches 4,000 rapidly, this is approximately $2.5 billion in short trades, betting on the assets to decline in prices, according to Coin Glass data. Crypto market movers: Bitcoin dropped 1%, 24 hours, it's trading at 118,000 right now. Ethereum also sheds nearly 1%, and it's now trading at $3,800. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I got for you right now in terms of XRP, Ethereum, Solana, the blockchain. BlackRock executive taking new role at Sharp Link. Very interesting. Man, hold on. Ethereum jumps as BlackRock executive take new role at Sharp Link. Yeah, money's gonna be moving these next few months, man. Jimmy said this is our biggest chance in life to secure some for the future. I'm gonna repeat what Jimmy said. Jimmy, I keep repeating a lot of things. You dropping some gems and some jewels. Shout outs to Annabis Gray, also dropping some gems and jewels. Shout outs to Ricky versus the world, also dropping some gems and jewels. Appreciate all of you for being on here. Appreciate your time because your time is one of the most valuable assets. Shout out to everybody else who was on here. Make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button. But Annabis Gray, Ricky versus the world, Jimmy, definitely appreciate these conversations because these conversations are also enlightening, but not just enlightening, it's informative and having people open their minds and be more aware of what's going on with these digital assets. Um, these all boom, 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 boom. All right, let me get more into these comments. So Jimmy said, I'm already stressing about all season as I'm up. Me too. And I'm like, when is the dump gonna come? I know they saying September gonna dump. Should I sell off some in August and wait for the dump in September, then grab some more in September, and then wait for the spike? Because you know the not the spike, it's gonna launch off crazy in October to the beginning of November. Like, yeah, I feel you, Jimmy. I'm with you on that one. That's why I'm up here saving off. Like the other day, trading off with Doge. Dogecoin went up. I seen it went up like I'm shaving some off. Good thing I did, because what happened after that? A couple days after that, Doge dropped down by like 12%, I think, after that. Jimmy, I'm already stressing about, okay, all season, I'm up. That's facts. Ricky versus the world, these alts will turn into CBDCs, in my opinion. Huh. Some of them might, Ricky. I think I did see an article saying that. Some of them might. I forgot which ones I saw saying it, but you're right. You're right. Some of the altcoins will turn into CBDCs, and it's CBDCs based off of like based off of kind of sectors that stable coin is going to be in. Like, for example, if it's in agriculture or if it's in technology, those stable coins are going to be geared towards that sector. This is our biggest chance in life to secure some future. Shout out to Jimmy. Appreciate that. Straight up went through 2021 market, and I don't want that feeling. No, for real, for real. Hold on for me, y'all. Went through that 2021 market, and I do not want to have that feeling. Even though I did get a little gains off of that 2021 market, it's not the same way you saying like, oh, it just you like it's like a roller coaster ride. Like, oh yeah, 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 yeah. Oh no. Like, yeah, you should have got off the roller coaster before that last dip, brother. Hey, and then it kind of bounced back in 2022, around like I think it was like April or May. It kind of bounced back. People was able. So when that bounce back came back a little bit, if you wasn't getting some of that profit or shaving off some of that gains off that time, then you was hit. Because after that, I think after about June and July, August, then it just kept boom, 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 just kept dipping on down. What's your thoughts on XLM? Junior James, shout out to Junior James, appreciate it. Honestly, I don't even really get too involved with XLM. I never really um look at the white paper or the blockchain with XLM. I don't know why. I don't even know if I have any XLM in my portfolio. I don't know why I never got into XLM though. You might have me do some research on that one. Annabis Gray says every country and companies will have its own stable. That's how I'm seeing it too. That's how I'm seeing it. So it's good to be diverse in these different cryptocurrencies, these different digital assets, and know about it, know about the blockchain, know who's gonna be using what and the likes of it, right? But um now's a good time though, good time to get involved with crypto. But don't, like Jimmy said, like Jimmy and Ricky and even Annabis said, like just don't watch that bag slip away. I'm gonna get into this article probably another time. I want to find out this BlackRock executive, but I'll talk to you guys on the next time. But actually, I'm gonna stay on here real quick. I'm just gonna go outside, get some fresh air. I got some things to finish up when I come back inside. Um, XRP is DeFi XML. Oh, and it's great. You on point. You know your stuff. Yeah, I don't know why I never. And it's funny because when I look at some of my notes, sometimes I do have XLM in my notes, but I don't know why I never really got involved. Because I used to just focus on Bitcoin, Ethereum. Then I started getting with Cardano, then Polkadot, then Doge. Actually, Doge was one of the first ones because for some reason it was so cheap, and I was like, I'm just not getting involved with crypto. I was like, this one is so cheap. Might as well put some money into it. Ah, shout outs to crypto, man. Yo, for real. And on some serious note, like whether you're just a Bitcoin maximist, whether you're just a Ethereum junkie, maybe you're just an altcoin hitter, maybe you're a decentralized um trader or what they call them again. I forgot the term that they used to. Whatever you is, as long as you're involved with crypto, digital assets, um, the likes of it, the changing of the economy and the changing of what's going to be going on with the economy, hopefully we all can win, right? Hopefully we all can win because just alone being on this conversation opened up my eyes to a lot of other things and just having like-minded people being able to chop it up with like-minded people, it opened my mind up to other things, right? XLM just partnering up with PayPal. See, look at that. That's good information. Now I got to put XLM. I got to go research XLM because that might be something I need to get into real quick. And I ain't rich. Like, it's funny that how I put my money into these cryptos, I just do different side hustles. I do different gigs. I collect bottles and cans and I cash them out and I put them in the crypto and I watch it grow. Um, XLM just partnered with PayPal and been with Visa. Okay, so that's a good thing. And the DTC and the DCC, DT, DTCC, DTCC. Let's see, I might have to. Y'all gonna come back in here have me be having to do some research now. And XRP and Annabis said, and it'd be DTCC. Okay, I put that down right. And the XRP and XLM are the only coming a part of the ISO 22 standardization. Are the only coming a part of the ISO. So they're the only ones that's. Mm. So you're saying that like XLM and XRP, the main ones that's making some headways out of the ISO 222 standardization body. They're the main ones that's making some kind of headway. I think that's what you're saying. How long before tariffs announcements, bro? I need to buy more BTC. When is they doing another tariffs announcement? I know today, the FOMC meeting, so we gotta watch out for that. I kind of want to dip. I want the FOMC. I don't know which one is which. If it's dovish or if it's hawkish, whichever one it is, that's gonna make it dip. Because I don't want to grab up some cheap satoshis at a lower price right now. Hold on for me real quick, y'all. Annabis, you in Australia? Shout out to you. Annabis Gray in Australia. Shout out to you. I know you was in Australia. Nice. So you thinking, hold on. Yes, yes. Yeah, I really appreciate this conversation with y'all on some really do appreciate this conversation. Um, I was trying to figure out what's going on. I know we got the FOMC meeting today and some other things, but I'm gonna check out on some things, do some couple research. Let me see. Leave the comments. XDC two. Okay, yeah, I got H bar. Um, Jimmy. Oh, it will dip. They gotta clear out some more. Yep, shorts leverage in the market. Right. Annabis Gray in Australia. H bar will be our stable coin, and XDC will be our trade. Okay, got you. H bar. Yes, I got H bar too. Now that y'all giving the fan, I might have to give me some more H bar. XDC become ISO Junior. James says H bar Fire Flames. Animus Grain Australia H bar is our big stable coin. Hold on for me real quick. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out something. There's a lot of things going on in this market. Hold on. I'm gonna go outside.
There, and then I got out and I put like icy hot. Then I like heated again.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to later.
All right. Got you. All right. Yes, yes. Had to come outside, give me some of this heat. All right, so where we at? Boom, boom. Jimmy said it will dip. They got to clear out. Leverage the market. Australia, H bar. Junior James says H bar, fire, fire. Annabis Gray says XDC became ISO. Jimmy, I'm in Brizzy. Annabis, haha. Okay. Okay, I missed that joke. Jimmy, I'm in Breezy, Annabis. Ha ha ha. Hey, mate, I lived in Brizzy for 35 years. Oh, so y'all both in Australia. Shout outs to Jimmy and shout outs to Annabis. They both in Australia. Hey, can I get an invite to Australia? I hear what's Brizzy. Hey, mate, I live in Brizzy for 35 years. Brizzy, huh? Brizzy, Australia. How's it popping in Brizzy, Australia? I want to go to Australia. Yeah, I just moved up 9 years in Sydney. Okay, so you got Sydney, Australia. You got Brizzy, Australia. I'm in South Australia. Annabis and Jimmy in Australia. Jimmy says, nice, bro. Annabis, they won't cut rates until October. Yeah, you're right about that one. You're right about that, Annabis. Um, Annabis, I do remember last year the Australian government was testing Ether. Annabis, if they use the EVM side chain, they would get their cheap payment running through XRP. Annabis, you know a lot. Be doing your research. Annabis, Ether, ETH to XRP, everything leads to XRP. Yeah, XRP is making a lot of movements in these digital assets. Come Australia whenever you want, bro. We chill here over here. Okay, definitely. Government is cooked though. Uh-oh. So y'all government not doing too well down there either, huh? So it's either Brizzy or Sydney I'm gonna go to. Brizzy, I'm gonna do some research on Brizzy, Australia. I would love to go to Australia. Let me find. I'll probably end up moving there. Sometimes you need to change the scenery, right? So when I go to Australia, I'm gonna link up with Anubis and Jimmy. We're gonna connect. All right. Ripple is on board up the. Ooh. Ripple is on board. How you doing? All right. All right. Anubis, Ripple is on board with the WEF World Economical Forum. Wow. Yeah, I know Ripple's gonna be making some big headways. And I think didn't Ripple and BlackRock, I think Ripple and BlackRock has some dealings too. And I think BlackRock also involved with the WEF. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, about to get off of here. Thank you everybody for being on here. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the subscribes. Thanks for the conversation. Great conversation today. I'm gonna have to do this more often. Talk about more about these digital assets. Shout outs to everybody who was on here. Thank you for your time because your time is one of the most valuable assets. Um, Thank you for sharing your time with me because you know you can never get it back, and I appreciate that. So, big shout outs to everybody who's on here. Blade 2025. Big shout outs to Alzera. Big shout outs to Anubis. Thanks for the conversation. You on point with what you know. Big shout outs to 601D. 601D XRP. Anubis again. Ricky versus the world. Shout outs to Crypto Trucker Mike. Yo, good morning. My bad, Crypto Trucker Mike. I didn't even see that. Shout outs to Crypto Trucker Mike. Um, Shout outs to Crypto Trucker Mike. Say yo, good morning. So big shout outs to Crypto Trucker Mike. Um, Anubis, Ricky, I be killing 3M's. Shout outs to you. Um, Ricky again. Jimmy, shout outs to Jimmy and Anubis. Jimmy and Anubis, they both is in Australia. I'm trying to go to Australia. Hang out with them guys down there. Jimmy, Ricky, Anubis, um, Junior Jane. Big shout outs to Junior Jane. Brought me some information, so I gotta look at XLM. Yeah, you good. And who else? Anybody said every country and company will have its own stable coin. Jimmy, and if you're Jimmy said, and if you're too late to crypto and Nvidia is the future. True. Nvidia and AMD. Right, 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 right. AI. What up? All right. Nvidia and AMD definitely. XRP is DeFi. XML is showed. Okay, yeah, we looked into that already. XLM. Just point. Yep, we ripped in the Junior Jam. XRP. Boom, boom, boom. Jimmy, how long before the tariff announcement? Oh, I didn't even get to check that out. I need to buy more Bitcoins. We'll still get more Bitcoins, right? Anybis Grace said the DTCC is 100 trillion. Wow, a year. That is the U.S. bond market. We're run on XRP and XLM. Junior Jane are the only ones that are in my bad. Uh, Many coins are compliant, but there's only those two. Oh, that are actually part of the standardization body. Okay, got you, Junior Jane. Got you, got you, got you. Part of the standardization body. Go ahead to look into that today. Got you. Okay, okay. I remember. Okay. I think that was with XLM and XRP was talking about. Many coins are compliant. There's boom, XDC2 and H bar. Yeah, they dropping some gems on y'all, especially if y'all watching this replay. Um, People in the comments, Anibus, Jimmy, Junior Jane, Ricky versus the World, variety of people dropping some gems and some jewels. So look at the comments. Oh, will it dip? They got to clear out some, yep, short leverage in the market, yep. In Australia, yep, H bar, XDC, Australia, H bar, XDC become ISO, I'm busy, okay. Ripple is on the board of the WEF, on the board of directory. They assist with, they assist with, oh man. All right, y'all, thanks for being on here, appreciate you guys. See you, mate, see you, lads, appreciate you. Shout out to Australia. Shout out to everybody who's on here, wherever you're from. Thank you once again for your time, because it's the most valuable assets. And we're going to get back on here and talk some more about XRP, about Ethereum, Bitcoin, blockchain technology, and of course, digital assets. So once again, thanks everybody for being on here. Be safe and enjoy your day. Talk to y'all later. Peace.